Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Now, why are we making this prediction so early? Oh, this fight will never happen. Well, Terence Crawford actually went on the Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, and he said, now, if he does this, that will be history in the making. Let me get into what Oscar De La Hoya had to say about this. He said that Terence Crawford will outbox Canelo. Now, I don't think this. I actually don't even think that Terence Crawford will be close to beating Canelo. Now, let me give you my two reasons why. My first one is because Terence Crawford is a 35-year-old man. Canelo's a 33-year-old man, right? So if Terence Crawford wants to put on 20 pounds, it's going to be very difficult for him to be as quick and to throw as many combinations as he does and to land on Canelo since he's 35, putting on 20 pounds. Now, I know a lot of you skinny and fat boys are going to say, oh, 20 pounds ain't nothing for a boxer. I want to see you run a mile at the same speed that you did 20 pounds lighter or 20 pounds heavier. And I promise you, it will make a big difference. So now, when it comes to who has the more experience, I got Canelo on this one. He's fought so many variety of opponents, like Triple G with power, speed like Floyd Mayweather, knowledge like Floyd Mayweather. He's fought these great opponents. And now here comes to my second reason why I think Terence Crawford would lose. It's because who has Terence Crawford really beaten to be undisputed 2 times? I can only name you 2 opponents that I know Terence Crawford has beaten, and that's Sean Porter and Errol Spence Jr. Now, who has Canelo beaten? Legends, Triple G, Cotto, fucking Shane Mosley, these legends. And again, he's 33 years old. Terence Crawford, to put on 20 pounds and still have that speed and to land. Let me tell you something. When you add on 20 pounds, you start telegraphing a lot of your punches. And now they both have power. They both are great finishers. So that's why when I heard Oscar La Hoya said that Terence Crawford is a better boxer, I don't think it has anything to do with who's a better boxer. I think it just has to do with who has been in that weight class for longer, who's more experienced in that weight class. Putting on 20 pounds and not telegraphing your punches and being quick as you were at 147, I don't think it's possible. I think Terence Crawford will get caught with something just from putting on 20 pounds. Because again, I doubt it's going to be all muscle, so it's going to be all fat. And again, fat does slow you down. He's a 35-year-old man. Maybe if Terence Crawford was on this road at 25 years old, but again, he's a 35-year-old man. He's old. His testosterone is lowering down. So again, how do I see this fight going? Well, I see Terence Crawford starting off slow as well as Canelo. But again, I think Canelo, he's used to that weight class. He will catch Terence Crawford in the later rounds. And again, if he doesn't, I think Terence Crawford won't have the tank in him or won't throw enough quantity so the judges could give it to him. So at the end of the day, it's either I think that Canelo will catch him in the later rounds or the judges will give it to Canelo just because of how much quantity Canelo throws at that weight class. Now, if Canelo were to beat Terence Crawford and actually take that fight, what would this mean for Canelo? Well, I already said this. If Canelo were to fight David Benavidez and beat Charlo in a couple of months, what would this mean for Canelo? If he beat all 3 of those fighters, what would this mean for him? I believe, hands down, he will be the best boxer ever to live. Even better than Floyd Mayweather. Again, Floyd Mayweather has never been undisputed. So for Canelo to beat these great fighters at this very moment in the next 2 or 3 years, that will mean that Canelo will be better than Floyd Mayweather, hands down.
Now, if Terence Crawford was to beat Canelo, well, then this changes the whole game because that will put Terence Crawford at the best, at the top, even on top of Floyd Mayweather. Regardless if Floyd Mayweather has beaten Canelo, that still doesn't make him the best, considering the fact that he hasn't yet become 3-time undisputed world champion. On the other hand, Terence Crawford, if he beats Canelo, he would become 3-time undisputed world champion. But at the end of the day, what does this mean if Canelo and Terence Crawford were to fight? Well, what this means is regardless of who wins, regardless if Canelo wins, or regardless if Terence Crawford wins, whoever wins will end up being the best that the boxing scene has ever seen, even on top of Floyd, even on top of Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. They would become the best in the actual face of boxing that the boxing scene has ever seen.